What up, Nam?
What's up, Jeremy?
I'll tell you what's up. Your 90s pick here. Your 1992 White Man Can't Jump. And I think a lot of people know that you're a big sports person. I used to be a big sports person. I would say basketball is probably your favorite sport. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Fun fact. I have never seen this pick.
Really?
Never seen it. I thought I did until watching this trailer. I'm like, I never seen this movie. I heard of it. So why was this your first pick for basketball?
It's interesting. The idea that I chose this movie was it's a basketball comedy, in that there was some fond memories that I had about this movie when I first watched it back in the 90s. And knowing myself back in the 90s, you wanted to be a part of that basketball culture.
Yeah.
To be fair, I had no idea what the actual hustling and all that stuff was about. 10 years old when I watched this movie?
Mm-hmm.
It was funny because they say white man can't jump, and you're just like, well, he ain't lying. And it had Wesley Snipes in it too, because I was a Wesley Snipes fan. That was before Woody Harrelson really kind of hit big for a lot of us. And Rosie Perez, I've always had a crush on her.
Dude, I didn't know Rosie Perez was in that movie until I was like, wow, she looks the same now. She hadn't aged one bit. Would you say this is the first street ball movie? Can you think of a movie before that was street ball? I can't think of anything.
I think so too, because during this time, White Man Can't Jump, a lot of the basketball movies were a lot older. Hoosiers. This was probably before Above the Rim. This is also probably before He Got Game.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a different take. This was before the And One stuff too as well.
Okay.
Was very unique and different on its own, because I don't think there's anything that's been made that's remotely close to being like it.
Were you a big street ball person yourself?
It's playground basketball is what it is. We say it's street ball, but as a kid, I didn't know any different. I didn't really get a chance to go and play rec leagues with teams. I played street ball with my friends.
I did the same thing. I played with friends, but then there were some times I played street ball. And man, call your fouls.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the trailer. Did the trailer do it for you?
I'm taking that I've seen it already. It did. I thought the trailer was fun. I thought it was funny. The characters were really charismatic. They showed Woody Harrelson as a white, nerdy dude who can play basketball, compared to Wesley Snipes, who was very flashy.
Okay. Me watching it, it was entertaining. I agree. It was kind of funny. I liked the fact that you kind of got to see a taste of why are they together instead of they just happen to be competing each other. You saw them. We can do this because the fact that you're white. So everybody's going to think you suck. That's the funny part about it. And it made me think of my childhood that white man can't jump. It's kind of funny because everybody has done it when they're kids. When you have two captains, you pick who you want on your team. And most of the time, no offense, but the white person is probably one of the bottom two that gets picked up. And so it's just funny. And I have been tricked before. What? That guy can dribble. The guy can score. I was entertained by the trailer itself. So I'm a yes. Definitely give this movie a try.
Yes, here too as well. I think it did its job. I think it would have sold me then like it sells me now.
As you know, we are going to go watch it, and when we come back, we will give you our full discussion about it. We'll be right back. And welcome back.
This movie that we just watched, White Man Can't Jump, was released March 27th, 1992. The movie is rated R. It's a comedy. Movie ran for 115 minutes, a solid 115 minutes. Directed by Ron Shelton. Distributed by 20th Century Fox. And like we mentioned, had a budget of $31 million and did $90.8 million.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Jeremy. Yo mama, so poor that ducks threw bread at her.
I don't know all the mama's jokes, man. See, this shows the listeners we are not. This is not on a script. Hey, this is already. They already know now. Like, nope. Nope.
No,
We freestyle it.
No, don't worry. We cut most of this anyways. All right. All right. Let's talk about this movie, man.
Okay.
So the setup of this movie, I think personally for me, is probably one of the better setups I think we've talked about across the board. Genuinely, I had a big smile for this. So going through it real quick, this is where we run into Billy. Billy be jamming. Billy rolling in the car, picking up a basketball, got his cap going, his kind of goofy look going. And then he runs into the singing trio who's singing and he's jamming with them.
Mm-hmm.
They finish up. He was like, "Hey man, is that the courts that King and Duck run?" And they're like, "Well, man, you gotta give us some money." And you know what he gave him? He gave him $1, Jeremy.
Mm-hmm. But
Like he cheap.
They made it worth that $1.
Dude, he gave him $1. Like for real. Like there's 3 singers and the dude playing the guitar, man. You couldn't give him $4?
That you think they're worth $4? Is that what you're saying? $4? That's how much you should have tipped them?
$1 for each person?
For one for each person. There's 3 of them, but you want $4, right?
No, yeah, because there's the dude in the back playing the guitar.
Oh, I thought he was just random. I didn't know he was part of it. I honestly didn't notice that. I always picture these 3 and nothing else.
This is fair.
And
At the very least, he should have given him $3 for $1 for each of the singer. Instead, he gave him $1, which they got to split it 3 ways now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So most of them are going to get like what, 30 cents?
Hey man, that's part of the hustle, right? Of being an a cappella group, is that you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're worth until they drop it in that bucket. To him, he's a little snobby with it. Gave him $1. So
the funny thing was he had the wad, right? Like as if he was going to throw a lot of dollars. Then he just pulled $1 and threw it in.
That is the biggest mistake. If you just pull $1 out, it made it seem like, hey, I only got $1 to spare. But he pulled that out like, okay, we know you got money. Oh, now you cheap. That's messed up, right, dude.
We get introduced to Sydney. Sydney was actually an interesting character. Originally, Sydney was supposed to be played by Denzel Washington.
And now look at him now. He got game.
They wanted Denzel Washington to play it, but he was so dead set on playing Malcolm X that he ended up turning them down. Instead, it ended up going to Wesley Snipes.
My man.
And let me tell you what, Wesley Snipes was talking a bunch of trash. Just trash.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of here. That shit went out like a Scud missile. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. It hurts so bad.
I'm guilty too, though. I think we're both guilty. Trash talking just is supposed to get you going more than them. I was enjoying the hell out of it. I thought it was hilarious all around.
It was such a fun scene. This next one kicked it up notches with the scene where they just did your mama jokes. Mm-hmm. Because the actors themselves brought the your mama jokes. It wasn't actually written into the script. Talk about the 90s, and I don't even think I've heard any of those your mama jokes other than the one I just literally like laced you up with it.
Yeah, well, cool. Well, let's just get off mama's because I just got off yours.
I don't know what stand out more when I first watched this movie, because now you're talking about a product of its time. It was a product of its time because, yes, the mama jokes, but the wardrobe was top notch 90s. Like, it doesn't get more 90s. It doesn't get more 80s going into the 90s. Because you see, it's in 92. The movie was made in 92. So you saw people in the 80s slowly transitioning away from that. But this is like the last stride before it all disappeared. I loved it. I loved the wardrobe. They really sold it. Just to add on before I let you continue, the women were looking super pretty on the court. I was like, dang, they all dolled up and dressed. I was like, okay. I ain't never been in no street ball like that, but okay. The way they dolled themselves up. I see girls come in, but they wore cool clothes. They just cool. But we're talking about like half skirts, wearing necklaces, hair done. Like they're about to go to dinner after the game. You know?
We going sizzling.
We going sizzling. We going sizzling.
I just thought like that they did a good job of the beginning setting of this is what this world is, and I loved it.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with the entire setup. Just the trash talk, the mama jokes, the look, the feel, the entire thing just set up the entire movie for you. Like you knew what you were going into, and you knew you were going to have a lot of fun going into it. We get to the first confrontation between Sydney and Billy. And let me tell you something.
Billy Ho!
Jeremy and I got this friend who I think looks kind of like Billy once you see Billy on the basketball court.
Put a side-by-side picture.
Do you happen to agree with me here?
The hair,
like,
probably. No, I'm just kidding.
I think he looks like John Stone, right?
Our buddy John Stone. Yeah, your job, Nom, is to put the picture side by side and let the viewers judge it for themselves.
Actually, exactly. He would be the guy that we'd be like, give him the chump.
Yeah.
Raymond, man, look at the chump, man. Give him the chump.
He's
the chump. In fact, I know for people who are watching this on YouTube, you guys are looking at us just talking like, who's John Stone? I will put it right here.
My name ain't Chump. J Stone 812.
You will see John Stone, and then you can just hit us up in the comments below and let us know, hey.
Or better yet, if you are watching this, don't be afraid. Go look up J Stone 812. That's his Twitch name. Look him up. Watch some of his stream. While you're in there, message him Chump or Billy Ho. All right.
They picked up Billy. Billy does the stretches.
Tell him about Billy Ho. Tell him about Billy Ho.
Billy go out there. He made it. He made a couple passes. Sydney takes that big L. He just like, yo, man, you lucky. And then Billy goes into this whole thing about, all right, well, you ain't see me shoot. We go into the Billy and Sydney shoot scene here, where they have a shoot-off, basically, a bet. So what did you think about the shootout scene here?
That's one of my favorite scenes in the beginning of this. I like it because the smack talking was funny to the point where like Sydney was confident, and then Billy was acting like that he was leaning on the luck as a smack talk, like, I don't know, I don't make 2 in a row before. Well, what do you know? I did that 2 in a row. So it was funny smack talk in a different way as Billy was trying to lean on it, and Sydney was trying to one up it every single time. And so, and I thought it was fun in that way. It made them stand out in their own way. I like the way they did that.
No, I agree. And for you ladies out there, I'm going to drop the scene right now of Wesley Snipes, Sydney getting up there and just going, it's like, when you shoot around here, the wind may kick up a little. It you may miss either 5 to 8 inches left to right. For you ladies, dropping that off right now. I absolutely love this scene. Just them just talking back and forth. You kind of get a gist of like their character and stuff like that, and how they were growing. And you can tell like Sydney's character, which by the way, Wesley Snipes has they both have ugly shots.
They do. I don't know what's better, the way they shot or the pose they left behind when they shoot. The pose looked prettier than the shot they took.
In the end, though, Billy wins. He hustles Sydney. Takes that $62, and he walks away. And the dude is upset that he can't go to Scissors. This is where Billy leaves. He heads home, and we first meet Gloria, Rosie Perez. And Rosie Perez beat out Holly Hunter and Rosanna Arquette to play Gloria.
I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't like Gloria at this part of the movie. I didn't like her. I thought she was annoying. I thought her voice was really annoying. Her purpose was really annoying. I just wasn't feeling it. But I get why she was there to kind of be the extra to Billy's character. So I get that. Yeah. But I wasn't feeling it.
Sydney finds out where Billy's at. And of course, we don't really know how Sydney finds out where Billy's at. He
followed him
Billy
fast, dude.
Sydney goes there and they talk about how Billy hustled him and where Billy is from. Billy was a college guy. played college basketball. They set up a tournament that they were going to play later on, but they wanted to hustle a little bit before then. That pretty much wraps up the setup of this movie. That gives you the entire story. Like, hey, these guys are going to partner up. Gloria teases something about a debt that they have.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know much about it.
Okay, I said my piece about the character Gloria, but I didn't hear your piece about it. What about your point of view? What did you think of Gloria?
Besides liking Gloria, because I thought I had a crush on her.
Let's take this bias and move that to the side right here. And take it for what she is.
No, it's cool. No, I liked her character because it felt that they were going to have a character that was going to bring down the situation.
Okay.
First, when I saw her character, thinking, I was like, okay, so he's doing it because of her. And there's going to be something that goes on. Because, there's always going to be a situation where, like, it's not perfect. Obviously, Sydney and Billy are great basketball players. They're not going to win every game. Something's going to happen. Something's going to get in the way. It could be like a Yoko Ono to, like, the Beatles.
Well, it almost at the beginning makes it feel like that she's there to just be there, and not so much help push the story. She would just kind of be there to fill out the other part of this trio. And just right off the front, dumb girl that's trying to be smart. One thing interesting about Gloria is more of her goal of just being on Jeopardy and finding out why she wanted to be on Jeopardy.
No, and I agree. Did you think that she was going to be on Jeopardy?
No,
Okay.
Not at all.
She didn't have the look of somebody that you would think is going to be on Jeopardy, though. As like her character, like it never, nothing about it felt that, oh yeah, it's a pipe dream. You think it's a pipe dream,
right? I honestly thought she was just going to be there and just be there, but I didn't think she was going to do anything major. And she'd be there for some funny parts, but none where she's going to spin off and have her moment.
So Billy and Sydney finally hooked up. The first bit of business they're going to do is hustle Raymond and Zeke. So Raymond was played by Marquise Johnson, a 5-time NBA All-Star, actual basketball player, which if you guys recognize him, that's where you recognize him from.
Show me how much I know about basketball back in the day. I did not pay attention to this guy whatsoever.
You know what makes you feel better? I didn't either. But don't you worry, I will put a clip right here. And then Kevin Benton, who played Zeke, played professionally over in China and Europe. Probably wouldn't know that.
No, but I know Stephon Marbury did.
They tried to set up this hustle with Raymond where Sydney was like, you can choose anybody on this court. So they chose Stone. He was like, pick Jump.
Billy. It's Billy. I don't want people to lose their ways. It's Billy. Billy Stone.
Billy Stone.
Billy Stone.
Chose Billy. And of course they dropped the money, right?
Yeah. No. 700, I think. I forgot what it was, but they cut it in half because the other team couldn't get the money, right? So so he went high. He went high.
Yeah, it was
but
high.
they had to cut it down.
It was around the 500 range, I thought.
Yeah, it was
Somewhere
really
around
high,
that.
and they cut it down.
Either way, the point is Raymond goes and gets his gun from his car,
I did not see this coming.
and he puts a mask and he goes into the convenience store and tries to rob the convenience store.
That know who he was.
They knew he was. I laughed. Dude, this part was hilarious to me. Because this big hulking dude just goes,
Yeah.
puts the ski mask on, walks past like two guys, goes into there and he's like, give me your money.
Hey, give me your money. Raymond, that's you.
No, this ain't Raymond. Nah.
Take off that goddamn mask and put down that gun.
Nom, let me ask you a question about that scene. How long do you think in real time they had to sit there and wait for him to come back? Was that about 30 minutes? 10 minutes? Like, how long? It was quick for us to see that, but just the fact that if you had to sit there and wait, how long did you think they had to wait for him to get back?
Dude, no, it had to be at least 30 minutes though, right? Because Billy was able to get his hat turned over, take off his jacket, take off his pants so he got his shorts, start doing stretches so everybody can be like, look at this white boy. What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a negotiation about that money, and eventually he sells the gun to them for $250 or something. Like, it wasn't much. It was pretty much half the money.
Mm-hmm.
More or less is what they needed. They go back, they drop the money, and they play a game. and Raymond got hustled. But here's the thing, though. You see Raymond, you thinking, all right, I'm going to hustle this dude. This dude bulk.
Mm-hmm.
He looks scary, man.
Yeah, but is it everybody they go against? Everybody's pretty bulky in this movie except Wesley Snipes, to be honest with you. And Billy. Everybody else pretty bulk. Oh, and except his homeboy.
Yeah.
Everybody else pretty built. I mean,
Raymond out of all of them, I think, looks crazy. Which explains the whole, he pulls a razor out. I'm going to cut you.
Mm-hmm.
He starts swinging the blade around. And Billy's just, it's like, dude's got a blade. And, why are you trying to side with him, Sydney? I mean, think about your wife and your kid. And then, of course, Sydney turns on Billy. Well, hold on. You talking about my wife and my kid? Of course, I think somebody pointed that out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, you talking about my wife and my kid? He's like, cut that fool. Cut that fool.
See, here's the thing. I had a problem with this scene, and not in a bad way at all. I like this scene. I thought this scene was hilarious all around. I personally had a hard time finding out when they were serious and when they were not serious.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning, when he's talking about pick the chump, I don't know you, I get it. You got to play the role. But the part where Billy's telling Sydney, like, hey, you got a wife and kid, and him turning against him, I was like, are they still playing a bit to fool them, or this is when it got serious? I could not tell the difference because they were still playing off of each other really well. Does not know the difference. And so I had a little confusing time with that until he mentioned, you know what? I'm going to go get my other gun. And then that's when I found out. But I think that's a little bit during that time in the movie where these two, it was almost hard to tell when they were really serious against each other and when they were joking around. I don't know if you got that feel, but that's how I got out of it. Sometimes I just didn't know when they were faking.
I agree. I feel like Sydney was trying to protect himself because he doesn't want Raymond to cut him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if it was you and Stone, you would want Raymond to cut Stone. So
yeah, but I thought those two would just run off together. I mean, it's a guy with a razor. Like you can outrun him, trust me. So I just didn't know. I didn't know a razor was that threatful. You guys can run.
Right. That was pretty funny. Y'all crazy. I'm going to go to my car. I'm going to get my other gun. I'm going to kill all y'all. And they all ran.
Jump over that.
Into the car that sets up the car scene.
Mm-hmm.
This is where Billy, Sydney, and Gloria are all hanging out in the car. Billy throws in some Boys to Men, and then...
No. It wasn't Boys to Men.
Oh, it wasn't Boys? It was...
No. How dare you? How dare you? I know what you did there. It wasn't Boys to Men.
I'm pretty sure it was Boys to Men because I'm pretty sure.
Are you?
What happened was Sydney was like, Jeremy, you listen to Boys to Men, but you can't.
Oh, you're so troll. Oh, you're so doing this right now. Check out our recent episode, our PlayStation episode, if you want to know this joke that he's talking about of the In-Game Boss podcast. No, how dare you? Come on, real talk. What did they play in the car?
Hey,
I'll make love to you. I'm just kidding.
By the way, do check out the In-Game Boss program. They talk about the hearing and the listening of Jimi Hendrix, which is an interesting conversation. This scene alone was just a good scene to build more of that relationship between the three. It's a simple scene.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. And on top of that, that is the theme of the movie right there. After that scene, this is how the movie goes from there.
That was a good way to build the chemistry between the three of them. I found it weird towards the end of the scene whenever they dropped off Sydney. Sydney talked about how cool Gloria was, and Billy just got super defensive about it.
It got awkward. And the fact that she was not paying attention, because I thought she would heard all that, but apparently not. There wasn't no music blasting or anything. Why do you think Billy was so alarmed by that?
I think the scene was put in obviously to kind of show you more of like Billy's like dedication and love to Gloria, so that you know that there is like a strong relationship for him to her, that he would do anything for her. Yeah,
I think it just didn't execute in my head the way that it was trying to come across.
Gloria riding Billy, that sets up a sex scene. Gloria and Billy are running from the Stucci brothers because they owe him money. At this part of the movie, we're not quite sure what the backstory is. We just know that these guys will kill them.
Because that was a little confusing, how they escape, right? Because they acknowledge the guys, they run into the house, they go out through the back door, they run down an alley, into another alley, and they run off to another hotel. That was a little confusing for me because, like, at the same time, it's like, Billy could just ran, and they don't know about Gloria, and Gloria could have got the car and drive. I don't know. That was over the top kind of chase that was unnecessary to me, but I get it. I just thought it was kind of funny, like, there's a lot of steps here they could have avoided, but okay.
Sidney is talking to his wife about buying a house. She wants the house that they just walked out of. This was a subtle way of telling the audience they don't like where they're at. They want to move. They want to have a family. They want to do something good.
Yeah.
Like, now we get his motivation.
Yeah. And on top of that, we finally get what is Sidney all about.
We get to the situation where it doesn't look good for Sidney and Billy.
We're going to get them boys.
Trying to hustle Robert and Zeke. And they lost. Billy and Sidney lost. Sidney had a bad game. Billy goes home. They lose $1,700, right? Billy go talk to Gloria. He's like, hey, Gloria, I lost it again. And we're like, again? Okay. So this is a little hint. He's done this more than once. And Gloria was the one that figured out that Sidney double-crossed him.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, took Billy to the house. What did you feel about
I was fooled just like Billy. I was fooled like Billy. When I found out what Billy got played, I was with him. I think what threw me off about this scene is the fact that the way Billy comes into these situations is a little out of place sometimes. Okay, you could choose anybody. You see Billy from all the way from distance, he's like, that guy. Like, you knew he was coming down to play basketball with y'all. And it's like, that's kind of suspicious right here.
Yeah, right?
Right, but it fooled me because I was with Billy. I think they did that to throw you off. Nah, you thought, no, we're hustling him. And that's what made it so good. So it was a good idea to do that kind of scene.
I didn't see the double cross when it first happened. In fact, it was early. I mean, because they just hustled Raymond and them. You didn't think the turn would be so quick. I don't think you could wait longer before you actually do the turn. I think it was good enough to shock you because you just never expected it and you never would have seen it coming.
So it also kind of shows how petty Sidney is, that he got beaten by him, that he would hustle him just like that.
It's pretty cold that you would do that to your partner.
Yeah.
Now, who does that? Because we're going to be on Billy's side on this one. Like, I'm on Billy's side on this one because I'm like, dude, like, he's your partner. Are you for real? Billy's dumbfounded. This is the first time we get to see Rhonda and Gloria get together, which was absolutely hilarious to me. Gloria and Rhonda were like the adults talking to the kids. She gonna tell me why you hustled him.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, why you gonna tell on me like this, man? Like, Billy's like, there's an etiquette, man. But I mean, everybody was just chilling on the couch in Sydney's apartment, just like watching the game. And there was Gloria and Rhonda conversation where Gloria goes into detail on what's going on, what's the entire backstory of why they were running from the Stucci brothers. And please pity me, give me back my money. You get Rhonda, who's also a strong woman in this movie. It was just like, I ain't giving you no money. We can figure something out, but I'm not giving you the money. I want to get out of this place. I made multiple references, but she drops the Vista View line.
About is getting out of the damn Vista View apartment building because there ain't no vista, there ain't no views, and there sure as hell ain't no vista of no views.
The guys aren't fighting anymore. They are watching the bad boy Pistons versus the Lakers. I guess it's a finals game because that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Rhonda and Gloria come up with a deal. The guys have to follow because, hey, Wesley Snipes said it best.
Why don't you tell them to move, man? Why don't you tell them to move? There's black women over there. You think I'm crazy?
And we move on to the 2-on-2 tournament. The peak of the movie, but also really quick, it just felt like to me.
Yep.
At this point, get to the movie. Now we get to build Sidney and Billy's relationship big time, where Billy is just nonstop talking trash about Flight and Willie, because Flight and Willie were going to be the guys who they expected to be in the finals with them. And this is where we actually see Billy be more aggressive, annoying Sidney, because Sidney was always the jokester of the group that always pushed buttons. Unfortunately, this time around, it's Billy's turn. I thought this was pretty funny. I thought the fact that Billy was just nonstop talking trash was just hilarious to me. And the fact that they did a montage of him just talking trash. to these guys was pretty funny. And I think this is also where you get the flight and the Willie part where they were just like, man, that's just too easy, Jeremy.
Too easy.
Yeah, doing the in-game boss is just too easy.
Too easy. No. That shit is too easy. Too easy. No. That shit is too easy. Fuck it. I don't want to play. I'm through. I don't want to.
I think this was the best part of the movie. It almost felt like Billy was trying to find some way to get back at Sidney in that game by like getting super angry and embarrassing him, which is funny because like for a while Sidney seemed like he couldn't be embarrassed. You're better when you're angry.
Yeah.
He wanted Sidney to be at that level, and Sidney's just like, you're not going to get to me. You're not going to get to me. And it does. But I do agree, it went too quick. Way too quick. And it was funny, though, how they tried to make it too quick because the announcers in the show, people were like, okay, we need to wrap this up. Okay, let's wrap it up. And it is sad because I think this could have gone up an extra 20 minutes with breaks or something like that. They could have been tournament, then some bonding, the next tournament, next play bonding. But they just wanted to speed up so you can get to the main part of it, which was hilarious. It was great. Favorite part?
Check, asshole. Check it, great boy. Check it, Casper. Come on, fuck. Check it up right, dickhead. Check it up. Fuck you, faggot. Come on, asshole.
The check. Check part is my favorite part of this whole movie. Favorite part of the movie. Out of any scene in this whole movie, the check part is the best scene in this movie to me. I laughed so hard, and I didn't want it to stop. I wanted it to be a montage through the whole thing. I wanted to be like check back and forth. They do a couple more moves, scoring each other, back to checking again. I wanted that carry through that whole thing. But I think that's the best scene in the whole movie, hands down.
With you completely. This is the part where they shoehorned in the entire like title of the movie. Just like a random angle in this movie. Sidney kept telling Billy to dunk. And kept ribbing on him that he can't dunk.
Kind of felt forced, right?
Yeah, like I felt like that was a forced thing. Like it was more or less to set up the fact that he can't dunk.
So I might be alone on this island. If you agree with me, then join me on this island. I felt that part was too late. This should have been signified or hinted through the first time they went to go hustle together, where a setup's supposed to happen and he never took the chance to dunk, and they should have gone in questioning. Like, hey, I know you don't dunk. And he's like, yeah. I'll dunk when I'm ready. That should have been hinted leading up to this part. It felt too late to me.
I think they were just doing that as the plot device just to kind of push the movie forward.
It felt like they almost forgot what the title of the movie is. Like, oh yeah, he's supposed to do something.
Going through the entire movie was kind of the unwritten feeling and rule, though. We all thought that anyways.
Yeah.
But you know, I agree. I was like, I felt it was kind of forced here. I get where they're going with, but it was like halfway through the movie, we're almost done. Mm-hmm. You're going to throw this in just to add extra things to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Dwight the Flight McGee is none other than the 1985 draft pick Nigel Miguel. Dwayne Martin, who is Willie Lewis, signed as an undrafted free agent with the New York Knicks in 1989.
Shout out to them.
They win the tournament. $5,000 is going to help out Billy and them get out of their debt, and it's going to definitely help Sidney and move, at least get started with the move. I know $5,000 will help. I don't know if it's exactly going to really get you there.
I never had $5,000, so.
There you go. They get into the car, and they start having this conversation where Billy's just like, I can dunk, you know. This scene kind of feels like our old friend Ben. You'll be doing something completely random and he would just stop you and just be like, I can dunk, you know.
I could do that.
Like, where's this coming from, man? I don't even care.
I didn't like this scene.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I think this was a scene that really kind of was a downer for me.
Yeah. I just didn't like it. I know what they were trying to do it for, but I think it was a weak way for Billy to lose the money. He loses to his ego. I don't know.
Yeah, he's bad with money somehow, some way. He's a screw up is basically what he is. He's just a screw up. There was the tease that he got upset because somebody was talking trash to him and he lost the money, or he didn't throw the game that they were supposed to throw for the Stucci brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And now he was aggravated because Sidney was just like, you should have finished that with a dunk. throughout this whole movie, you should have been able to look at Sydney and be like, that's Sydney. You know, Sydney's going to say what Sydney says.
Mm-hmm. Like, now he gets to you. This conversation here, this one right here. Okay. Fell force.
Yeah.
Fell force.
You know what's interesting, though? In this scene, I felt Sydney was being genuine and wasn't trying to hustle. You can argue that he was trying to hustle here.
Mm-hmm.
He might have known Billy well enough to be able to say things that he knew Billy was just going to put the money up.
I would have fell for it, for Sydney hustling him. I would have fell for that. Just the scene, not me being Billy, but just that whole scene. If he set that whole thing up there, I fell for it.
Yeah.
But was he being sincere, you think? Or do you think he was hustling?
No, for me, I think he was just being serious, and
Okay.
he was just like, don't do this. But then again, he's good at what he does, so you can totally see what he was saying. What he did was a way to help push the buttons of Billy to throw his money down, you know?
That in great acting.
Exactly. I mean, I loved it. Even Sydney was just like, hey, man, come here. I got you. I can lift you up from here. And the dude's like, nah, I don't need your help. He's like, hold on, I know what your problem is. He walks up to him and starts trying to pump his shoes.
That was worth it. Even though I didn't like that scene, those particular scenes were worth it. Those particular parts.
Billy loses the bet. He can't make the dunk 3 times. Though, behind the scenes, Woody Harrelson hustled Wesley Snipes out of some money when he actually dunked the ball.
Okay.
The reason is Wesley Snipes didn't know that the goal was lowered whenever Woody dunked it. So Woody bet Wesley that he could dunk the ball. Snipes took the bet and Woody dunked the ball on a lower goal. Snipes didn't realize it was a lower goal. Wesley Snipes is an athlete, from what I hear, but he sucks at basketball. Woody had to teach him how to play basketball because Woody Harrelson is good at basketball.
That's funny. That could have been a movie right there. A white guy teaching a black guy to play basketball. That would have been funny.
I think that would have been interesting. All right.
Sequel: Black Guy Can't Dribble.
Sydney and his wife. Gloria's sitting there drinking a bottle of wine and eating pizza, which I'm not going to lie, or drinking champagne and eating pizza. I'm not going to lie. That kind of looked good. Like I was thinking to myself, I was like, maybe I should drink some champagne and eat a pizza.
I'd rather do wine, man. Champagne's too bubbly for me.
When Gloria gets on top of Billy,
is that how you want to set it up? Is that what you want to set it up?
Say what?
The way you set it up. You want to set that up? Okay. So when she was on top of him. Sorry, go on.
So when Gloria gets on top of him and just starts like getting ready to grind him.
You on top of me on top of you. Sorry, go on.
Would you tell her that you lost the money?
No, not that. After all of it. Terrible man right here. After.
She is going to leave me. I am going to be happy for one more time.
I'm going out with a bang if she's going to leave the theater.
I had to ask. If it wasn't going through most guys' minds during this situation, I don't know what was going on. I'll admit I'm a huge perv. Whatever.
Billy's just too honest. He's too honest. But yeah, you bought her a dress.
Yeah, he bought her a dress, and she got on his lap, and then he broke the news while she was on his lap. I wouldn't have done it. If you want to break the news in the middle of it so you can get a lot of hate while you're doing it, then so be it. But like, not that early, man.
Yeah.
She leaving you, dude. Gloria leaves. Billy sets the hotel or apartment, whatever they are, on fire. Gucci brothers catch Billy and are threatening that they're going to kill Billy. Show him Polaroids of what they did to their past victims, which is a quote-unquote foreshadowing move.
Mm-hmm.
And then they give Billy 1 week to get that money. That ends the confrontation, and we go into the resolution of this movie. Sydney's in the middle of a business deal where he talks about the whole roofing, construction, like the 10 jobs that this dude's got and the hustling on the side. He's in the middle of this, and Billy's like, hey, Gloria left me. well, yeah, I would imagine Sydney knew this because he took your money. Billy was like, hey, do this for one favor for me. Find a way to help me out. And next, of course, you know, Sydney was like, I feel sorry for you. I took your money, but I feel sorry for you. I could give you back your money so you guys can get back together, but I'll give you this favor instead.
You won't learn. You won't learn if I give it back to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He goes up, Sydney catches up with Robert. He is a security guard on the studio lot that Jeopardy is actually being filmed. Elephant in the room, we're going to ignore this because we have to do a suspension of disbelief in this. But just because I get on the studio doesn't mean I get to be on Jeopardy.
Exactly.
As a contestant. Maybe as a studio audience member. But we're going to go with this.
Yeah, it makes sense because he's a security guard. I guess he knows people really well. They're like, hey, I need her on the show. What is okay?
Is that realistic? Is it on the board? But before Billy could do this, he had to hit a hook shot from more than half court on the non-U.S. goal.
Bullshit.
Again, guys, suspension of disbelief. The aesthetic of watching Gloria on Jeopardy is exactly what I was thinking. Like, you never would imagine this girl being on Jeopardy. Everybody else is like, you know, engineers and scientists or whatever, and she's like former dance queen. She goes on and she kicks a lot of tail.
Question.
Go ahead.
Question. Did you kind of wanted to see like how the conversation went with Jeopardy? Because she just showed up. Last time I checked, leaving Billy at the hotel. Like, how did that work? Did she come back? Did he find her? She just showed up. And it was like, okay, no way a phone call. Unless she called, that was luck. It had to be luck.
I agree, because I'm going to say the same thing as you said. Like, this is where suspension of disbelief has to kick in, right? Because there's no cell phones during this time.
No.
So it wasn't like Jeopardy was like, all right, let's give her a call. Who told her that she could go on set, and how did she get on set? Like, the bet was made, but I mean, obviously Billy wasn't the one that told her this because she won't talk to Billy.
The movie wanted us to expect that they somehow figured that all out without us giving it a second thought about it, which it failed. It had to be thought about because it didn't make any sense how they connected. It just happened. She was cute in Jeopardy. She was super cute. Like, everything she answered was cute. I was like, all right. Gloria's cute. I like her.
So, Jeremy, for foods that start with the letter Q, this category was aired on Jeopardy 5 years later from the movie. Actual category. Perez forced Alex Trebek to improvise whenever she was talking about Mount Vesuvius. She said it wrong. So that was a completely improvised scene where Alex Trebek, being the host that he is of Jeopardy, has done this a million times, was like, I don't know. That doesn't sound right. Judges. And they put it in the scene. Rosie Perez wanted it to be redone, and the director was like, hell no. To the nah.
No.
Hell no. To the no. Yeah, to the no.
And they kept it in, and I thought it worked. I thought that scene was perfect.
If you never told me that, I wouldn't even say anything.
I thought it was perfect for the movie. So we get done. She wins a crap ton of money. They montage her just answering a bunch of questions. Pretty sure that they just filmed it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Billy goes back to Gloria's hotel and sings for her. There was a sex scene.
I'll make love to you like you want me to.
After that conversation.
You take something so wonderful, Nam, and you put sex in it. It was great. So after they banged,
here's the thing. So Jeremy and I have made this multitude of lists of movies, and we have talked about so many movies. And somehow a movie about basketball hustling is the movie that has had the most sex scenes. Anything else we've talked about. Like, literally, this is the only season where Jeremy and I went just like full pervert on this. Like, because House Party for him had the scene, and now apparently in this movie there was like 10.
Sex is in the air.
I had to bring it up. I just had to bring it up. All right. Fast forward, man. We go to Sydney. Got robbed. Jeremy. Rhonda doesn't work. She's a stay-at-home mom.
And she's been saying that through the whole movie, that she wants to work.
And they got robbed.
Yup. Where was she?
Exactly. I don't know.
Was she asleep? Did you go to the store?
She must have went to the store. I'm guessing she must have taken the kids to the store because she was like, they took everything. They took the TV. They took. And I sat there and I was just like, weren't you home? Like, she yelling at everybody else like, y'all saw something. I know y'all did.
I saw you there do nothing about it.
I had to bring it up. I was just like, okay, this is okay. All right. All right. The suspension of disbelief, that's the third act for you guys. Here's the part that gets really kind of frustrating. Sydney now is talking to Billy to try to convince Billy that, hey, Duck and King are down at the park and that he needs help because he just needs help. He doesn't tell Billy, or did he actually tell Billy?
No. I know exactly. No, this pissed me off too. No, he told. If he didn't tell Billy, I know definitely he did not tell Gloria the situation.
Yes.
I want to say that I don't know if Billy knew, but I definitely know Gloria did not know. That's what I will say for that. So
I think what it was is that Sydney did tell Billy, and when Billy talked to Gloria, he did not say a damn thing.
Why? There was no reason why to hide that from her. And this is the part where the movie fell off. This third act that we were talking at the beginning after that fell off. Because it felt like it keeps going, and it's like, where are we going now? Why is Sydney getting this moment now? It didn't make any sense to me. And when we get to the end of this, I have something to say about this whole movie. But this felt like they were trying to do a new chapter, and it didn't need to exist. And if we're going to do this, then why the hell did you hide that? What's the purpose of it? What do you get for not telling her? I thought you guys were close enough that you could still tell each other stuff. Like, you're afraid to tell her that? Why? I don't get it, man. That frustrated me.
The thing is that they're finally at the point now that they can pay and not have to worry about the debt thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, Gloria gave Billy money, but now it's Billy's money to mess around with. But I think if they would have just told Gloria, she probably would have had a better understanding. I felt that they were just trying to set this entire thing up to where Gloria's going to leave him. That's what the end goal was Gloria was going to leave him. But he's told her everything else when bad stuff happens. Like, why wouldn't you tell her that, hey, Sydney Rhonda just got robbed. He's asking me to come help him try to take Duck and King at the park to try to hustle them and, make some money and so that they can get back on their feet. At the very least, give her a chance to be sympathetic about that or walk. But I guess they wanted her to be innocent in that entire.
It was not thought really well how they wrote this part. I feel like either they were trying to hurry up and wrap up something, or they were really trying to force her out of something. And it was a weak part for me, the way that part was written. And to me, it did no good for any of those characters for this scene. I think it was just pointless. It was better off if Billy did it behind her back and even have the conversation. Gloria shouldn't even have been there if that was the case. He could have just done it, didn't tell her, then told her, then she could have left him.
After they have that argument, Gloria deuces. And then they go into the scene where Duck and King are playing against Sydney and Billy. This is where we get a chance to finally get the payoff that you and I have been all waiting for since the bet that happened after the 2-on-2 tournament. That was the peak of the movie. Billy finally dunked the ball. Did that make you get the warm and fuzzies right here?
Then it wasn't a good payoff. I didn't care anymore. I checked out a while back. I just didn't care. Plus the basketball game It was the weakest one out of all the basketball games. It was too many slow motions, and they were trying to build this part for him dunking, and it wasn't a good payoff.
We're talking about King and Duck, who are the park legends. They set this up at the very beginning of the movie, whenever Billy talked to the singing trio. And this game was an afterthought. It was just a way to... I don't know. I really don't know. It was just a way for them to get rid of Gloria, is what I felt.
Mm-hmm.
Billy comes home. Gloria's gone. Like, she ain't coming back. Sydney and Billy have a conversation where Sydney was just like, you should have listened to your woman.
Sydney's an idiot. Sydney got on my nerves on that part too. It was like, so you're saying I'm supposed to listen to her, but also listen to you and all this stuff, and then got mad at Sydney because like you needed help. Like you could have said no. Really, Sydney? Really? You really gonna say that? That's messed up. Funniest part though is him walking by that plant 3 times before noticing it. It sucks the heck out of him. That was funny. I didn't like that scene either.
Billy pays back the debt. The Stucci brothers takes photos of Billy looking like he's dead. Apparently that's a scam. That's pretty much the end of the movie, man.
It just ends. It ends like life goes on. I think I told you this I told you in a phone call before recording. Like, I get the ending, but I don't accept the ending. Because I can accept a bad ending if the payoff is worth it. The payoff doesn't always have to be good, but the payoff in this wasn't good. It just felt like that it was running out of steam, and they didn't know how to end it, and it felt like they wanted to like make up a lot of stuff that they couldn't do earlier on. So I didn't like the ending. Did you like the way it ended?
I feel differently now watching it again, just because of how it just kind of felt like it dragged a little bit. But the ending didn't really make sense. I guess it was a way to finally teach Billy a lesson. You chose to win at this one thing so much, you ended up losing everything else. So it's an interesting concept. The ending to me was like, it means to an end.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for the awards, man?
Yeah, let's do this. My award is, I know you ain't talking about my mama. And there was a lot of smack talking, but a lot of mama jokes and reference put to that. And funny enough, my picks are just one of them is a mama joke. The other ones were really comment about mamas. And I thought they cracked me up the most. My number one is, this is the first mama joke, and it's the only one I put in here. Your mama's so fat, when she broke her leg, gravy comes out.
Your mama's so fat, she fell over, broke her leg, and gravy poured out.
That was my favorite mama joke. Second one is where Billy's getting played. Sydney is just talking all this smack. And so the guy that works at security there, Robert, he says, man, I am tired of looking at you. Man, your mama must have got rid of you at an early age.
You know, I get real tired looking at your face. You know that? I guess your mother must have threw you out of the house at an early age. Oh, yeah.
I had to rewind that 2 times. I'm like, did I hear that right? That's messed up. I got to use that line. And when I play a video game against somebody.
Yeah.
But in the next one, this is from Billy from the tournament. And he was talking smack to the top 2 people that they were going to go against. And he's like, man, you break a lot, man. Look, let me tell you what. I need you to put all your bricks together, and we're gonna build a homeless shelter for your mama, your sister, your kid.
Stop right now and let's just gather up all these bricks and let's build a shelter for the homeless so that maybe your mother has a place to live, all right? Fuck you, shut up.
I laughed so hard because that was a long smack monologue, just that adding up, and that's my winner. That one was just hilarious. Bailey was in his zone and he just went all in. So, yeah. But what about you? What do you think is the winner, or who do you want to add to the list?
Woody Harrelson, when he was just in that zone of trash talking about the bricks and is like building a shack or a house, a shelter. Oh man, I laughed. I died laughing just through all of those jokes. I thought the gravy one was going to be my winner when I was watching this movie at first. because I was just like, dang, that's pretty good. And then like I heard the other ones later on, I was just like, it just got better. It just
Yeah.
got progressively better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is definitely my winner too.
Okay. All right.
All right. In the last segment of our show, we go to Rotten Tomatoes. Boom.
Rotten Tomatoes.
And we will tell you whether we agree with the critics or we side with the people, like us, the audience. Here on Rotten Tomatoes for this particular movie, the critics dropped a 77% out of 56 reviews. The audience, however, gave it a 68% out of 100,000 plus reviews. So, Jeremy, how do you feel? Are you with the people with sticks up their butts, or are you like one of us, the audience?
Wow, did you give your answer away already? Okay, anyways. The last couple of reviews, I have been going into the lower numbers. And it's really weird when I go back and rewatch those and like, do I still stand by what my answer is? But that's different cause for another day. For this movie, though, man, it's a good movie. For some of the decisions that I didn't like, it was entertaining regardless. I think the basketball games really carry the movie and carry some of the dull points of it. I like the Jeopardy part. And the fact that I didn't like Gloria then and then liked her now, regardless, they did good on the character development. But when it came to just telling the story, it kind of saddens a little bit. But I can rewatch it again. Weirdly enough, I'll go with a 77 on this one. I think I do enjoy it for what it is. This is my first time watching it. So, yeah, I'll go with a 77. I thought it was still good. I haven't seen another movie try to copy this. It's probably one of my favorite basketball movies up there right now. Other than Space Jam. I'm just kidding. No,
Too.
Stop it. So, go on. Yeah. Your turn.
Actually, this is my favorite basketball movie. I hadn't seen one better, and Space Jam 2 did not exceed this. So, 77 critics, I will be a part of the group that has a stick up their ass. You guys should definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. You should have definitely checked it out before listening to us because we ruined everything about it. But 77 for me too as well.
Okay. All right. So that's it for our episode. We will catch you on our next flick.